Welcome back to Detroit's Morning Answer with John Anthony. You know, parents across America are facing a sobering question. How do I talk to my kids about tragedy? From remembering the pain of 9/11 to the shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk, to the constant stream of violence and disaster on the evening news. Our children are watching, listening, and wondering why the world feels so broken. Now, ignoring these conversations won't protect them. In fact, research tells us a child's worldview is largely shaped by the age of 13. That means the voices they hear now will echo for the rest of their lives. So today, we're joined by someone who understands both the urgency and the hope of this moment. Jeff Nichols is the Vice President of USA Ministries with Child Evangelism Fellowship, the world's largest ministry to children, dedicated to reaching every child, every nation, every day with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Jeff, welcome. Let's start with why this moment matters so much.
Hey, good morning, John. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you. You laid it out perfectly there. You said it so well. We can't just put our heads in the sand and say everything's going to be okay, right?
Yeah.
We can't just let them know that, hey, it's going to be all right in the end, because for many of them it's not. You know, we have to give hope, and that's the biggest word. We have to give hope to these children during difficult times. And Child Evangelism Fellowship is a ministry that's over 80 years old. We're in almost every country of the world. And when we're dealing with very difficult situations in those other countries of the world, you can imagine what the children who are in Ukraine face, and they're being attacked and they're having to flee to other countries, or maybe children in Syria and they're having to flee and live in refugee camps. Yep. Because Child Evangelism Fellowship is in almost every country of the world, we're given the opportunity to minister to those kids during the most difficult time of their life.
Yeah.
And what we found is they need to know that there is a God, and there is a God who brings hope to them. And God is not afraid of their questions. You know, that's a big thing, John. We want them to know that God is not afraid of their questions. It's okay to ask the questions like, why are bad things happening in this world? And God, why did you allow this to happen? And how can I get through this? What in the world is going on? And it's okay to ask those questions. And for over 80, go ahead.
Yeah, but when you think about this 9/11 generation, think about how much stuff that they've had to endure. Now, I know each generation has its fight, has its battles. But when you think about those who were alive when 9/11 happened, you think about, the multiple mass shootings that have happened. You think about the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the whole 4 years of the COVID lockdowns. What do you say? Why do you believe that kids need the gospel now more than ever?
You know, tragedies present opportunities is a way to look at it. And when difficult things happen, it seems like our hearts get a little bit more raw. Our minds get a little bit more open to asking questions about why things are happening. And when those times come, ministries like Child Evangelism Fellowship and other ministries, we want to minister to kids during that time. And it's during those times when they start asking those questions that you need to have answers. And we have provided for parents and churches a great resource that we call a Do You Wonder Why booklet. And this booklet is available online at our website at cefonline.com/why. And you can look at it, read it, and even listen to it. There's 19 different languages, by the way, for all your listeners.
Wow.
And it answers those questions that we just said. It answers the questions, why did bad things happen and why did God allow this to happen? It helps them to know that there is a God who loves them. There is a God who is in charge, but in his omnipotence, he did not make us robots that required us to follow him and do what he wanted. He gave us choices.
Yeah.
And many of those choices lead to sin. and sin is the ultimate root of all of this evil in the world. And because of that sin, bad things, can happen. Natural disasters happen that are out of our control. And but again, those tragedies create opportunities. Recently, with the flooding and that happened in Texas recently,
Jesus,
just horrible, absolutely horrible. Just flash flooding. No way to respond to that. And after that, we just flood. We sent thousands of these little booklets to that area. So that churches and families would have the answer, something pointing to them. Again, John, I want to say it again, telling kids it's okay to ask those questions to God.
And one of the reasons,
He has the answer.
And Jeff, one of the reasons, I know the Barna Group, they show that a child's worldview is largely formed by the age of 13. What does that mean for the urgency of reaching today's youth?
That means that those ideas that they have about the way that the world works, is there a God? How does God interact with this world? Is formed by the age of 13. Those are the times that the form of, think about a concrete form, that the form is being set. Not permanently set, but those things are being set into their minds and in their heart early in life. You think about your own life, John.
Yeah.
Those listeners, you think about your own life, those things that you were taught early on, not that they can't be overcome later, but those things are deep set into your mind and in your heart at a young age. That's why it's so important to reach kids at a young age. Studies show that most people who are Christians today became Christians between the ages of 4 and 14 years old.
Yeah.
That you think about that. That's when their minds are curious. Their hearts are open. There's not a whole bunch of sinful habits, that have established themselves in their life yet to block them from understanding God's love.
Yeah.
And that's what Child Evangelism Fellowship tries to do, is we want to evangelize boys and girls with the gospel, disciple them in His Word, and get them established in local churches. And we work through local churches to answer these questions, to give this hope to children today.
Yeah, Jeff, how important are the parents? How important is it for parents to be proactive and instead of staying silent and hoping kids won't notice a lot of things? As it relates to their own kid's life, I talk about in my book, I wrote a book about my son's suicide, missing the signs. And I saw them, but I was so preoccupied with life and trying to do things that he'll be okay. How important is it for parents to actually act on what they see?
That you make a great point there, John, and I'm so sorry for your loss. But you took advantage of that opportunity to try to teach other people. I admire you for that.
Yeah.
What? It's easy. Let me just talk to the Christian parents out there and say it's easy for us to think that we just need to take them to church once a week or twice a week, and they're going to answer all the questions. Well, that does need to happen. I'm not minimizing, obviously, church, because that's a very important part of a young person's, growing up in faith-forming years. But if you think about it, that's 1 hour out of the entire week. The rest of the week, the parents are the ones who are forming faith in the lives of the kids. And the parents are the ones who really should be the spiritual champions in the life of the kid.
Yeah.
The church is really the one that's coming alongside the parent to be the spiritual champion. But so much of what children believe come from what they're catching from the parent. As you know, you learn more about what's caught than taught. And they're catching those things that the parents believe, and they're picking up what the parents believe by the way that they behave.
Yeah.
And parents need to be very cognizant of this fact and understand they're the primary teacher. I mean, although they're going to school, I know you're taking them to church, the parent is the primary teacher in a child's life.
If you're just joining the show, we're talking to Jeff Nichols. He's the vice president of USA Ministries. As I've been going through social media the last week or so, after Charlie Kirk's assassination, Jeff, I've just seen so much vile, just vicious celebrations of a person losing his life. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. With this, I'm setting you up for something.
Okay.
When you look at what we've allowed our kids to take in. You know, the rap songs, the music, the television, the movies. Tell us about Unite TV. How does it unite kids with the gospel through streaming animated adventures, songs, and missionary stories? Because what you put in is going to come out. You know, I believe that with every fiber, and that's one of the reasons why we're seeing this generation just be so vile, because it's what's been put in them. Correct?
That's exactly right. And if you've not heard or read that book, Anxious Generation, it's an amazing book by Jonathan Hatt that just says that the screen time and the screens have literally rewired our children's brains and changes the way that we think about them, because they're getting so much of their views of the world from the screens and from the social media and other things. And not that we want to take those things away. Someone has said a screen is like food. You can either eat junk food or you can eat healthy food. And a screen can be used to provide healthy resources. Unite TV is one of those resources. We have a Unite TV series that through, you know, kids are on their screens, iPads. I've got 3 grandkids. They're on their screens and they're on those iPads watching YouTube videos.
Yes.
We want to insert healthy food. We want to insert healthy content into their brains. And so Unite TV does that. We have the gospel being shared through really fun animated adventures and songs and amazing stories of missionaries over the years. Unite TV, just a great way for kids to engage in the gospel and apply to biblical truths to their life. And it can be found, on all the great places on Facebook and X or Twitter and Instagram. You can connect to us there. It's an amazing opportunity to provide good, solid biblical content to kids through the screen, and it's gonna be filling their minds with good stuff instead of that junk that's out there.
And Jeff, I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about, just to show you the importance of parents. I want to play this audio, and I really want to get your take.
I have the best news
Okay.
ever.
What? Donald Trump died?
Second best news.
The vice president died?
Okay, third best news.
That Elon Musk died?
Okay, no. Nobody died. My best friend's getting married.
Which one is it?
Taylor Swift! Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got him.
Jeff, when I first heard that, man, my heart broke, because I said to myself, these kids, can you imagine the life they'll live if they continue down the building up this hateful heart, that the first thing they said, good news, when they hear good news, I know how I feel when I hear the good news, the gospel. Jeff, how do we help fix this problem that is permeating throughout America and the world?
John, that's a great question. I'll say that the way that we fix this problem is to not think that the answer is found in something else besides God. The answer is not found in our political views even. I mean, our government can't give us the hope that is found in Jesus Christ. Mm. I mean, the government has a lot to play, has a lot to do with all of that, but we're putting our main trust in sources of trust that can fail us, honestly. Yeah. And the hope of Jesus Christ is never going to fail us, right, John?
Yeah.
We are putting our faith in things that are faulty. They have serious issues. They have serious problems, and they're showing those problems. I mean, it's showing today. And we think that these other sources of hope are going to provide the hope that these kids need, and they can't.
Yeah,
they're because they're human made, and they've got humans running them, and so we have to ultimately put our hope in Jesus Christ as the ultimate source of hope.
Now,
and the good news, that's the good news. That is the capital G, capital N good news, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
That not just really nice things about Taylor Swift, which is fine, but,
right.
But we're talking about the ultimate good news.
Yeah. Now, Child Evangelism Fellowship is the largest children's ministry in the world. You guys have set a bold goal of reaching 35 million children in 2025. How does CEF manage to reach so many children across cultures and nations?
Because the verse in the Bible says that God is not willing that any of these little ones should perish. I mean, that's what we work on. Gospel was given Jesus when Jesus was here. He made bold proclamations about the kingdom is made up of childlike faith people, and we want to take the gospel everywhere. 35 million this year. You want to hear one that'll blow your mind? Mm-hmm. Our ultimate goal, John, 2032, we want to be sharing the gospel with 100 million children a year.
Wow.
Around the world. 100 million a year.
Wow.
And that is only possible because we work directly with churches and volunteers to take that gospel to the kids that are right around them. And when we're talking about taking the gospel, John, we are doing Bible clubs in public elementary schools that we call Good News Clubs. Those are after-school Bible clubs that are being done because churches have raised their hand and said, I want to take the gospel to the kids that live in our community.
Yeah.
And we have the legal right to do those Bible clubs in those public elementary schools.
Yeah.
And just the same way any other club is there, we have a legal right to be there.
Amen.
And so we have thousands of these clubs that are happening all over the United States because churches see the kids around them and want to provide hope to them.
You know what, Jeff? The pews were filled on this last Sunday. Now, for those who are listening, Christians, non-Christians, people who are looking for something to help their child, how can they get involved with CEF nationally, and how can listeners find their nearest chapter and start serving today? You're here, specifically for Michigan.
Yeah, it's easy. Just go to our website at cefonline.com/ministries, and then you can just search for a local CEF chapter near you. We have 400 chapters around the country. Those are local chapters with local staff who want to connect to people who are interested in the gospel being shared with the kids and interested in their church sharing the gospel with the kids around them. So that's cefonline.com/ministries, and they can find out all about us there, and they can connect through to our other resources that we're talking about, Unite TV and the other resources that are there also.
Yeah, friends, silence is really not an option. Our kids are asking questions, and if we don't answer them with truth, the world will answer them with lies. It's ministries like Charlie Evangelism Fellowship that are stepping into the gap with practical tools, that have biblical resources, and a vision to reach every child, no matter who they are, every nation, every day. You can access the Do You Wonder Why booklet along with Unite TV and other resources, as Jeff has just said, at www.cefonline.com. And if you feel called to get involved, there's a local chapter in every state where you can start making a difference. Jeff Nichols, thank you for joining us today and for equipping parents to raise children who not only face tragedy with courage, but also know the unshakable hope of the gospel. I appreciate you.
Thank you, John. Thank you for what you're doing.
All right. Guys, cefonline.com. Suffer the little children. You hear so many people, the left and the right, they're both say that they're focusing in on the children. And we have to protect the eyes and the eye gate and the ear gates of our children, because what comes out of that mouth of those kids is based upon what goes in. And I try to lead by example with my own kids. Here's the thing. Here's the kicker. You're not going to always get it right. You're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes, but it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. Kids need to know and see failure and how you overcome said failure. I think it's John Maxwell who wrote the book Failing Forward. If you still doubt yourself, you don't feel like you are worth a hill of beans, read John Maxwell's Failing Forward. It teaches you just how failure is the greatest thing that you can ever go through in life, because it teaches you so much more than success. It really does. So Failing Forward, some of the greatest inventions came from failure. So don't be afraid to fail. Your kids need to see it because you're teaching them. Those are teachable moments. Don't go anywhere. Hour 2 coming up next. You're listening to Detroit's Morning Answer with John Anthony.